Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael.
This is Cleve.
And that's Stephanie, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship Supreme, where the podcast that dares to ask, if you were put in Nick Fury's shoes, what team would you choose?
All Chitauri members.
Cleve has tasked us all to the number one responsibility of Nick Fury, and that is to assemble an Avengers team of our own. Stephanie didn't put any thought to it. She literally sat here and said, "Yep, I've got it."
Yes.
Cleve and I, however, took it more seriously.
Well, you were told about it, and then Cleve said, "No, it'll be hilarious if you also do it," because I told him I would have no reason for half the people I picked.
Here's the thing. So, a month and a half ago, he suggested this idea and then said we should all do it. And he just recently said, "Hey, have you put any work into it?" Because he wanted to make sure that we weren't all going to show up and just put it together right now.
I distinctly remember saying,
All right.
"Do I need to do anything this weekend?" And because I probably forgot everything because it's been a month.
And I said no because I'm used to you just showing up.
Usually you say, "You're optional."
Anyway,
So the premise was not much. Just create an Avengers team.
Yep. No limit. No. No. It doesn't matter if this person's dead in the comics, dead in the movies. Just get your vast.
Spoiler alert, I think someone put Quicksilver in their team.
How did you know?
He's a big fan of Quicksilver.
I just feel
Specifically
like
from the MCU.
he didn't get a good
He didn't get a good run.
Anyway,
sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it.
Maybe we'll. That was like what, 2011, something like that. Maybe he'll get a resurgence with this WandaVision thing.
Yes, the multiverses are coming. They're definitely coming.
Maybe we'll get the universe where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were brother and sister, but then also diddled. It's in the Ultimate Comics.
I'm not familiar with that one, but you find them every time, so.
I mean, I'm not looking. It just exists.
Do you remember when you found the universe in which Supergirl was sleeping with her horse boyfriend?
That was like the main one. That was the main universe. That's canon. That's like, it's in the show.
Look, there's a listener out there that really likes Kryptonians, and every time I try to defend them, they just keep on.
So instead, we'll go ahead and start.
It is the Marvel Universe, hence the Avengers. Do you want to give your team a name and just announce that and let us mull over it?
Yeah, we can. Does Stephanie's team have a name?
Stephanie, your team got a name?
A little bit.
Stephanie's team's name is the Southern Avengers.
It's gonna be the Friendship Adventures.
The
Adventures or Avengers?
Avengers.
The Adventures Avengers?
It's gonna be the Cruton Avengers.
It's a new breed of people.
Or Crouton.
The Croutonians. Croutonians. Crouton.
I'm guessing you're a bunch of jokesters, huh? I mispronounced the name Crouton one time.
That's all you need. You've buried the show. Because nobody's going to listen to a guy that says Crouton. Crouton.
Look, I said Crouton. Crouton?
Doesn't matter.
It's recorded. You'll hear it. When
Team
you
name.
record it.
Stephanie doesn't have one.
Team name
Avengers is Stephanie's team name.
The Last Hope Avengers.
Okay. Mine are the Preventers.
All right. Stephanie? Team Procrastination.
What?
Team Procrastination.
Okay, cool.
Team Last Minute.
I guess we'll
The
give,
Last
you know
Minute
what?
Avengers?
We'll give her team a name after she's given us hers.
Yeah, you can come with it.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Last Minute Avengers will be good because it's like we've sent everybody on missions. Crap, something's happening.
I imagine her
You-
version of Nick Fury.
you
Like,
guys.
shit, guys. You, go.
Who's in the books? Who's in the books?
Who's left? Who's answering the phone?
Is Spider-Man here? No, we sent them. Damn it!
It's like a crew scheduler for. Oh God, who? Call him? No, just keep going down the line. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, Stephanie.
Wake up the night shift. I need them on.
And that's how you get people like Doorman and the Great Lake Avengers.
God, I wanted to use Doorman so bad, but he just didn't.
I purposely didn't.
I have. Oh, we'll go into it. Go ahead,
Stephanie, what's your team?
And we're gonna do mine first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you put the least amount of effort into it, so let's not end on yours.
Yeah.
Let's start with yours.
It's gonna have Deadpool,
Okay.
Okay.
Black Widow.
Okay.
I went back and forth between She-Hulk or The Thing. I think I'm gonna go with She-Hulk.
Okay.
That's 3, right? I was gonna do 5. Mystique,
Okay.
and then Rocket Raccoon.
All right.
That's my Avengers.
Okay. Okay.
That is hardcore. The last minute Avengers.
Did you put any thought into the shenanigans they might get into?
Oh yeah. Like they all have different powers,
Right. Thank you.
and I want to see Rocket Raccoon's and Deadpool's
Interactions. Okay. It's
And
not
I
really.
think Black Widow would just be annoyed with all of it.
I think She-Hulk would also be tired of it.
Yeah.
I imagine Deadpool would hit on She-Hulk quite often.
Yeah. Probably.
He'd make a lot of dirty jokes.
I think he wouldn't hit on Black Widow just because she's real no nonsense and will kill him and let him come back and then kill him again and let him come back.
He'd enjoy getting smushed by.
Who wouldn't?
And then there's Mystique too.
And then Mystique, she'd be an interesting one, I think, because
She's just the wild card.
I thought about putting someone in my team that was like
Both lines.
had been on both sides and you didn't really trust him yet and the headache that might cause. But I thought that would only be interesting to me if that person was the leader and I couldn't find someone who played both sides that I would then put the leader of a team. I put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, I think Black Widow would be the leader of this team.
Yeah, for sure. I could see She-Hulk being the leader too.
Yeah, She-Hulk's pretty strong.
And smart, yeah. I mean, Black Widow's smart, obviously, but she's also
Who was? Hold on. Oh, Mystique is what I'm missing.
she's also very much a soldier mindset, and I think that would make her not necessarily the leader. But she, to me, has always been more of a right hand man. You know what I mean? Like, I need someone that I can trust to take care of this. It's always her.
Yeah.
I think She-Hulk's the only answer for the leader because who else can keep all of them in line? She-Hulk's terrifying.
Yeah. You're welcome for developing your team.
Thanks. I put them together.
You did on your phone last minute.
They're a great last minute team.
I mean, they are the last minute Avengers.
Here's the benefit to only using characters you already knew. They're all pretty solid superheroes on their own, so...
Yeah.
And they all are, movie-wise, already cast.
True.
Yep. Every single
But would you
one of them.
use first
wait,
trilogy
is she-
Mystique or new trilogy Mystique?
Jennifer Lawrence, I feel like, put no...
And she hates it? Yeah, we'll go with the old one.
She-Hulk, does she have a...
That's the next thing I was gonna bring up is because she's gonna have a show.
Yes.
But I've not heard anything about casting yet. If I'm aging this
I don't even know if it's
we'll see.
animated or...
It's live action.
Is it live action?
Because it's gonna be straight MCU canon stuff. Have you ever put any thought into who you would have player?
Ronda Rousey.
Okay, I can see that. I saw some artwork of no, you're not the biggest fan, but Rosario Dawson as
I was literally thinking that,
She-Hulk.
but I thought Night Nurse, so I didn't know if they were going to try to...
Well, but they killed that, remember?
Yeah, they'll bring it back.
Well, I mean, they could just recast it at that point.
That's true.
You know? Let me see if I can find the picture.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see it. I was
posts a
just
ton.
thinking Rosario Dawson, but thought that because she was in all the other stuff, that maybe not.
She posts a ton of shit all the time. She's real active on this social media. I would like to go past this point, please.
Nope. None for you. Nope. No, sir. Not today. Not gonna happen. Nope. Try again.
Denied. There we go. It's like I was getting dunked on.
Yeah, no, I think I could definitely. Although she looks more like Gamora at this point, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's green. What can you do?
Looks like a buff Gamora.
I mean, she's a green woman. It's not, not all green women look alike. Close-minded people. I'll send it to my girl post. If you choose.
Yeah, you have
If you choose to include.
You would need to.
Yeah, but I'm interested in the show. I'm interested on how they're going to introduce her. Because I don't know if you know her origin.
blood transfusion.
Yes, blood transfusion from Bruce Banner, which I feel like he's smarter than.
I have to. I don't remember
Was it
like the
life-threatening?
stand. I don't remember the circumstances, but I have to assume that for Bruce to do it, it would have been like, if you don't do this,
This is their only shot,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson, I think would be a good one. Like I said, honestly, like any one of the WWE whatever, I feel like could do it.
Yeah.
Just because you wanted to have some muscle and look it natural.
I can't name any WWE wrestlers anymore.
The divas. Yeah.
Well, obviously, thank you.
No, that's fine.
Oh, I thought you were like,
No,
what's
no.
with women?
No,
Yeah, no, I got that.
No, I can't
Thanks.
think of them either. She's dead, but China would have been actually a really good one.
You gotta break up old stuff like that.
I'm
man.
just saying, man, she would have been good.
All right.
All right, anyway.
You want me to swing first?
Yeah.
All right. So,
God,
as you can imagine,
you're going to have put so much more thought into this than I did. Dang it. I was having fun.
I mean,
He's got a whole list.
I mean, we all have a list.
People got knocked out.
You have screenshots. What's funny is I had a list of people that was like, I really like these people and would like to put them on the team, and I couldn't find spots for them. I almost wanted Louisiana Avengers, but I couldn't think of enough people.
Just Gambit 6 times.
It was Gambit, Quake, which I didn't know was from Louisiana, comic book wise at least, and Monica Rambeau,
Quakes and Shields, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Or Shields of Agent.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You said it right
Agents of
first though. And then Monica Rambeau, which is Captain Marvel, the little girl. Couldn't get enough people. I thought about a vampire team, and I got Blade, Morbius, and Jubilee, and ran out of people. I guess Dracula technically.
There's a girl one too, weirdly.
A girl.
Like a girl version of Blade. I can't remember her name.
I don't know that one at all. I thought of like a hunting team because I really wanted to put Kraven and Wolverine on a team together. But the only other person I could think was Sabretooth, and it would be interesting to see them have to work together because Sabretooth again is going to be one of those where you're going to try to screw me at some point. And then I thought of an all-Latin team, and I got Miss America, Miles Morales, Sunspot, who's an X-Men, Ghost Rider, Robert Reyes, not Johnny Blaze, Nova, the Sam Nova, Yo-Yo Rodriguez, and Goldballs, but I just didn't think of how they meshed at all.
It's fair.
So the team that I eventually ended up with was War Machine, Quake, Ms. America, I'll explain her more if I need to, Cloak and Dagger, and Forge, the X-Men, because I think it would be interesting to have Forge working with War Machine and what you could possibly put together that way. I assumed War Machine would be my leader. I don't think he's ever had a chance really to kind of take a team for his own. I think he has maybe as Iron Man when he had to be Iron Man for a little bit, but not solely on his own. I could be wrong. Like I said, Quake as support, Cloak and Dagger are just a good pair to put on. Plus, it gives them mobility with Cloak. And then Miss America is America Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you seem like you might be aware
I've
of her.
seen the artwork. I don't know that I know the story.
Do you know her at all?
No.
I know you don't. It was a quick trick question. She is from another dimension, but she is super strong. She can fly. She's strong enough to the point where she can punch through dimensions, which is interesting. She's also a Latin woman who is relatively young, so I feel like having that hot head that keeps people at arm's length. But her characteristic is really represented in like her heritage, where she comes from. She can visit all of her ancestors and her great-grandmother and her great-great-grandmother, and they can like speak to her. And she is also, which I enjoy about her the most, which is not it doesn't dictate anything about her. She is also lesbian. It's like this first Latin superhero who just so happens to be lesbian. So it's like a first character that they're including in this. It doesn't dictate how her story goes one way or the other. It's just her, which I think is really cool. And she has a really cool design to her. I don't know how much you've seen.
Yeah, no, I've seen the art. I believe she uses a motorcycle.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
works on cars and stuff like that. Yeah.
Maybe I also saw her in the Marvel cartoon movie series that they were pushing for a while. I feel like she looks familiar.
There's rumor that she could pop up in Doctor Strange 2.
The multiverse? Mm-hmm. So there'll be a lot of crazy shit in that one.
Oh, man. I look forward to it, and
I'm
then
mentally prepared
I wonder
for-
if I can handle all
Right,
of it.
I'm not
yeah.
prepared for the repercussions that will happen based on that.
But those are the preventers. I assume that they would get tips of terrorism within the United States and try to handle it.
I assumed immediately, based on the name, that there was going to be some sort of empath. So I'm impressed that you didn't do that. Like a seer of some sort. Or like at least having telepathic powers.
No, I just figured it'd be more of like real world FBI. Like, hey, we have this tip where
I was thinking like Minority Report status of
Right,
like having
right,
someone
right,
that can see the future and be like, okay, let's prevent this somehow. So I can appreciate that you didn't go that route.
There was supposed to be a female Blade. It was Blade's daughter. She was announced at San Diego's Comic-Con several years ago, and then nothing ever happened. But her name was going to be Fallon Gray.
I'm starting to see why things didn't work out. Let's go, man. What's up with this team? Or do you have more questions for my team?
No, I was just curious. Do you have any hijinks? Is there something like, are they built for something specific, like just terroristic attacks?
Just terroristic prevention within the United States. I think that Quake would be a good mentor for Ms. America. It's kind of like, hey, you know, take it easy with this. We're going this route. In the comics, her first mentor was Storm, which is what a great first mentor to be, the first female like superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like War Machine has had enough history behind him to be able to lead a team.
There's definitely enough old dogs for the new, like, there's definitely enough seniored and all.
And my vision of the Cloak and Dagger is the show one, which I found out the real Cloak and Dagger from comics are not from New Orleans, and it really bummed me out because that's where my New Orleans team was going. It really,
That's kind of a bummer. I really like the storyline.
yeah,
I
I think it worked really well. Maybe there's a different version of them that does, but everything I looked up, Cloak is from Boston.
Where's Dagger from?
And once I found out one of them wasn't from New Orleans, I gave up. Because really, if they're not both from there, because that's how they meet in the show at least, you should watch the show. It's really good. Oh, did you?
I watched the whole thing.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed every
Why didn't you
single
mention any of this to us? Tandy was a bit annoying,
Yeah.
but I thought the Tyrone character was really well done. He really carried himself well in that show. But yeah, they do a crossover in The Runaways. If you want to pick up on that, Cloak and Dagger had 2 seasons. Runaway had 3.
Yeah, I watched The Runaway. I think I watched Cloak and Dagger first because you liked Cloak and Dagger.
I would say
better
one
than
over the other.
Runaways.
Yeah, I would say Cloak and Dagger over Runaways. But that's I just feel like the Runaway characters never really evolve. They're always
The same
themselves
exact
for the
characters.
most part, especially Molly.
I would, well, and I haven't seen season 3 yet, but I feel like Chase, I actually grew to like in the second season when I hated him in the first.
He did. Well, he was like that jockey character, and then actually became a person. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's it though. And then, never mind. Spoiler. Keep
Stupid
going.
Molly. Stop, Molly. Nobody likes you.
It's a spoiler that we'll talk about whenever both of you watch it, and I won't talk about it till both of you watch it. Let's have it.
Okay, so Last Hope Avengers. This is the team that you call on when nothing else is going to work.
Okay.
I like to think that they do other things too, but like this is
Who do
is
you call first? Last Minute Avengers or Last Hope Avengers?
who do you call first?
Yeah.
Fair.
It depends on what level of threat we're talking here.
I think.
We're talking universe ending.
I
My
think that
team.
his thing is like, I have no other idea how to make this work.
All
I
other-
feel like
all
your
other
team
than
is Who's here?
You're making chop suey. I'm like solving world hunger.
I'm making a good movie.
You could be making a good movie. Yeah, because I don't know how this movie would play out on my end.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. So the leader of the group
Dracula.
is Dupe.
Dupe.
So, and a lot of these, I'm not gonna lie, I did go down.
What that is.
I went down a rabbit hole of obscure characters and said, let's find some interesting things. Okay, so Dupe, yes, was a part of
D-O-O-P?
D-O-O-P. The best I can explain him to you two without you guys being able to see what he looks like, I guess I could be pulling up while I'm talking about it. He looks, the best I can explain to you is he looks like Slimer, but cleaner looking. Yes, a giant pickle, basically.
I actually have read some comics with Dupe in it. Why he exists, I don't know.
So the best explained history of his is that Captain America believes he was created to help end the Cold War. And apparently he is the downfall of communism at some point. Somehow.
Okay.
That's a thing.
I'm glad that Captain America puts trust in him. I guess that gives him a level of...
He was a part of X-Force, but then everybody died on X-Force except for him. And he joined X-Static, what I had never heard of before. This is a team that was like a reality TV show superhero team. So like they were just... He was the cinematographer for them and filmed them as they did things. He once got in trouble because he was too artistic.
I can see that.
He tried to bend the camera sideways and then it was just over. But anyways...
Adorable picture of him fighting with a broken bottle and Thor.
I am going to get to that scene.
Okay.
I'm
Sorry.
going to fucking murder her. It's going to happen. Has she ever been here before?
You're telling me to look up things.
What are you writing on there?
My business.
Okay. Anyways, so Dupe has never gotten to be the leader of a team, and I like to think that this is the team he put together. He was like, I want to be important. I'm going to put together a team.
I was wondering that because I was thinking to myself, this guy was on a team where everyone died but
He
him.
was.
And then if he was like, hey, you want to sign up? I'd be like, nah.
There's some people on this team that very specifically build into the fact that he's been a part of several teams that have just all died.
Okay. Frankenstein?
So some of his powers, just because you guys might not know who Dupe is, he has the ability to just know things.
Yeah, just bring it over. Nobody cares.
He just thinks of, like, if you were to walk up, he'd be like, oh shit, I know who Cleve is, and would suddenly know you for some reason. He can levitate and fly, which makes sense because he has no legs.
I like to think he rolls.
He has the ability, he can be split up into pieces because he's slime, kind of, and all pieces still interact with each other or can still move around, except for his brain. For some reason, it can't put itself together because his brain has been cut in half before. But he's so strong that when his brain was cut in half, the picture that Stephanie just showed of him fighting Thor, he was beating up Thor with only half his brain, and he had the strength to be able to win.
Okay. So, real quick, again, I love where the team's going instantly with the first character, but we put the guy with half a brain.
Oh, he's back together.
Okay,
now.
okay,
He's
okay.
back together now.
Never
That
mind.
Was just during the fight, he was helping distract Thor.
I was like, let's not put the guy with half a brain on.
he was helping distract Thor while the rest of his team put his body together.
Okay.
Which explains his superhuman strength. He also has a dimensional gate hidden inside of his stomach, where he's allowed to store things and
Is
people.
that where the X is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to the point where he can absorb something and then multiply it or duplicate it. So at one point he swallowed Mjolnir and then just crapped out like 1,000 Mjolnirs. They didn't have the same strength, but they were similar.
Could anybody lift him, or do you know?
Yes. Anybody could lift him. They did come to Thor when he called for them. He can change his size. He's got super speed and super
Got like
flip.
a bunch of hammers.
He's like a super weird experiment.
Yeah, he's an odd character.
He breaks the fourth wall, but here are my favorite powers. He's immune to a lot of things, like telepathic stuff.
Okay.
He has something called Dupish Magic, which magic gave him a sprinkle of her magic, and then he can now just perform magical things.
That was nice of her.
But he has the power of funk.
All right.
He actually beat the devil with the power of funk once.
Okay. Like Tenacious D.
Yes.
No, that is like for sure the Tenacious D scene.
Yeah. So he's definitely fighting the devil with a bass guitar. So that's the leader. I'll shorten it up a little bit.
You want to see my favorite picture?
No, you take your time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
him dressed as, yep.
That's where I actually met him from. Is Wolverine has the school for X-Men, the Jean Grey school.
He's the secretary.
Yeah. Keep in my mind, I had never seen this character before, so I'm reading. I'm like, "The fuck is this guy?"
Is this him as a secretary?
Yeah.
And he's well respected. Mm-hmm. But obviously, he came off to me as a screw up.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Or he just doesn't care.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He's super slob, like, doesn't care. I will say
Like
he does have the
Grimer.
power of regeneration. Much like Slimer. Yeah, I really think that Slimer, as long as, like, a little bit more clean cut instead of the giblets.
Not actually super gooey when he touches stuff.
He does have the power of resurrection to the point where he died. They were pretty confident he was gone. And then randomly they were in space and saw just this blob flying by.
Obviously.
And we're like, what the hell is this? He landed on Earth. It was him.
As one does.
He did. Any mutants I picked are on Team Wolverine, by the way, when the split happened. So, you know.
Interesting.
You can see where I'm at on this. So I will bring up my next person, Mr. Immortal, who is only willing to agree to be on this team because he can't die. Right? 'Cause,
Right.
again, the whole, you know, lots of people dying thing. I don't have to read much about Mr. Immortal other than his actual name is Craig Hollis, and he can't die. That's literally his power.
I believe it is because his best friend is death,
Yeah.
or the
Has
Grim
something to do
Reaper,
with that. Yeah.
or something like that.
It's the guy that was the guy that is Doorman, but not Doorman. He
Right.
looks Death Purge or something like that is his name.
So he would not allow Mr. Mortal to die. Mm-hmm. That's what it was?
Yes, and he has some of the fun ways he's tried to, or his either tried, because he at one point was super depressed and tried to off himself because he can't die. But some of the interesting
that
ways that he died. One time he was shot by candy sticks.
Okay.
He was strangled by a living Christmas crown.
Okay.
He was stabbed in the head with a universal remote.
Okay.
I'll give you one more. At some point in time, the Human Torch, he was burned alive by the Human Torch.
That seems outside of the Human Torch's MO.
Right. You would think.
But,
I don't know
maybe
the
close.
yeah, I guess I should have read the history behind that one, but
I mean, it happened. That's all we need to know.
I mean, he was stuck in a tree and Mr. Torch tried to save him.
For
Couldn't turn off his hands.
just an example for you, the one that I actually do remember is there was this bad guy and he had a thing that was counting down and he needed to get to it and he didn't want to fight the guy. And he was like, oh my God, do you know what you're going to do whenever you set this off? It's going to be miserable. I don't even want to live through this. Takes a gun and goes, bam, shoots himself in the head. Right? The guy freaks out, the villain, and kills himself. And then Mr. Mortal just wakes back up and then goes and turns off the thing that was setting off.
Genius.
Yeah, right? Because that guy was like, holy shit, if he doesn't want to live through this to the point where he offed himself, I don't want to live through it either. He's
it's real satirical.
He's the leader of the Great Lake Avengers,
At
right?
one point.
Not your A team, not your B team, not your C team.
Hey, the only reason he has a real rage problem apparently, and once Dinosaur, once Dinosaur died, it's his girlfriend. Don't you laugh at her. Pterodactyl, and she died.
She did die.
I don't remember how, but she died. It was
Something-
not. It
something
was
happened.
gruesome.
Something
It wasn't
happened
good.
bad. Something bad.
But when she did die, his temper unhinged.
I could see that. Typically, Cyclops went through the same thing for
Yeah.
a while.
It was, he murdered some people.
Well, I mean, that was after. That was well after. But anyway, yeah. We'll blame it on that.
So I really feel like he needed to be included in this team, and I feel like he's the only element of surprise that they'll ever have on this team. And plus, I just wanted to use him. Forget Me Not. We've talked about him a couple times before, but Forget Me Not is a mutant, Stephanie. His only power is to not be remembered.
He's actually been on the X-Men team for
6 years?
decades.
But nobody else remembers.
At least 6 years. Like they've showed different scenes of him, both telepathically and just physically, to the point where it screws up cameras if he walked by them. Yeah, there are a lot of flaws to his, like, because if he uses toilet paper, they notice that the toilet paper is going away.
Okay.
Like, that was an example.
That was a very specific example that you had.
Also, any memories that he would be in of somebody that would just show up as blanks, and that's actually how Psylocke apparently figured out he existed. But I feel like he could do some real covert shit,
I mean, yeah.
and nobody'd ever know.
If he didn't wipe his ass.
Right.
Like,
long as he doesn't use toilet
can you poop before you go?
I included one picture of him that just says, all I ever wanted to do was be noticed, and it made me really sad, but...
I wonder if it developed as a teenager, like most do, like during puberty, or if it was from the get-go. Well, it couldn't have been from the get-go, because then they wouldn't
Like
feed
born
him.
and just left in a... Yeah.
Right.
They don't have a lot on his origin.
Right?
They don't have his name, they don't have anything. But
Who knows? No one remembers him.
But he exists, and I like that he existed, and felt he needed a team to be a part of, other than the X-Men.
Except for no one will ever know that he's part of this team.
He was. You would think that like he was just a last-minute add-on. He was actually number one.
I can see that.
I started a team.
How do you build a team around that guy? How do you build the team around someone who's never going to know who they are?
So my initial reason for building the team that I built was it was going to be representation of different like mental disorders, because he would kind of be depression, but then Mr. Immortal would be as well. So
Well, I think you could use the anger.
true,
But
And
then you put dupe.
Dupe is also is wanting to like be important, or even I guess
Insecurity?
Yeah, and then I have my next person who's Moon Knight, because I feel like he needed to be included. Also, they need somebody that can actually do heavy thinking.
You have the... is he your heavy thinker?
Yeah, one of his superpowers is considered being a detective.
One of his personalities.
Right.
But you have
Two
one of my
different
favorite Moon Knight quotes ever.
Ah, yes. You can read it if you'd like.
Yeah, this will be our one-time F-bomb use. This is in the comic strip. It's its own little panel. And it says, "I know you're here, Dracula, you big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn money?" And I pray it's in the show.
I did include it. Because, yeah, it's the best line that's ever existed in our comic.
You know what? I read that line and I think, what is going on in this comic? Yeah.
So somehow Dracula owes Moon Knight money.
I don't think I've ever found out why he owes him money, but no.
I just know that part. I know you're here, Dracula, you big effing nerd. Who calls Dracula a nerd?
But we've talked about Moon Knight before. He not symbolizes, but he embodies being bipolar. He has lots of different personalities that assist him in solving crimes.
I'm excited about his show. I like him as a character for sure. He's I have a little 8 miniseries where it's him, but he has the illusion of working with Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Captain America, and he talks to them while he works out what strategies he wants to do to take down the big crime boss. It was a really good read.
Yeah.
And up to that entire show, he just is trying to get money
From Dracula. That could be this whole
But
contribution
no
to the
like
MCU.
explanation of like why Dracula.
And now we have Blade, so vampires do exist in the MCU.
Maybe this whole team is just focused on getting their money back from Dracula.
So you created the Shakedown Avengers.
So far, Forget Me Not, Dupe, and Mr. Immortal, Moon Knight, specifically Mark Spector, because I think there's multiple
I think
iterations
there
of
might be
him.
one other one that I can't.
The only one I'm thinking of is this.
The only one I've
specifically.
ever known is Mark Spector.
This is the one I've read and I'm familiar with. Just that one 12 issue run, which they then decided to continue. But he's basically considered an expert detective, expert pilot. He's an interrogation specialist, marksman weapons, and martial arts master. He has an insane amount of pain resistance.
He's Batman for Marvel.
Yeah,
with the mental disorder included.
he is.
Which, let's not count out that Batman doesn't.
And then my last one, I felt like it was needed because I had a real machismo vibe going on here. Mm-hmm. I feel like she ties them all together. Domino. Why are you looking at me like that? So, Domino does not have the power to control, or the ability to control her power.
Mm-hmm.
But her power is considered to be it's probability manipulation, which essentially, if there are odds, she is able to, or her powers kick in whenever she's in danger, to put the odds in her favor.
Did you see Deadpool 2?
No.
She was in that. She's played by, I can't remember her name, but she was also in Atlanta. Really good choice, I feel like, for her. But yeah, basically, like, she's lucky. And it's just a power that's always on.
Yeah, like if you were to be walking down a road and a piano fell and it was going to fall on you, somehow it wouldn't fall on you now.
Something would take place around her to where... the example is, I think she was on top of a bus and... in the movie, in the Deadpool movie, and she flew off for whatever reason, and she just kind of spun backwards, and all of a sudden there was like an inflatable big gorilla at a car lot that she just perfectly fell onto.
She really can't, I mean, she can die, but basically it'd be really difficult to kill her.
Something would happen to cause her not to die.
Right.
But this whole team is essentially put together in the hopes that you can't kill them.
You can see that.
Most of them. Forget me not, I don't know.
Pretty vulnerable
He's
guy.
there, but
I mean, and Mark Spector's not a
Maybe
he's
unkillable.
He's not, but the sun god did bring him back to life. I think it was Ra.
Okay.
Brought him back to life.
I thought it was the moon god. Was the sun? Well, I know he gets his powers from
the moon god. I think the sun god's the one that made the deal with him and brought him back to life.
I could see that.
what if Forget-Me-Not is the reason why Dracula owes Moon Knight money? But they just can't. They don't know why. They just know.
Maybe he did business with Dracula and Forget-Me-Not just took the money. And he's the inside mole.
There you go.
Also, surprised you didn't put Ghost Rider with the rest of the team. He's a real big,
It could have been.
probably not dead
I
thing.
tried to pick mostly people that were not ever on the
Super
cinematic.
Well, we don't acknowledge the cinematic
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Rider.
That's fair. Well, I
But
consider
that
the agency. Of
yeah.
Yeah.
Forget-Me-Not.
Because that would have been the iteration I think I would have gone with. As him.
For sure.
Robbie Reyes? Is
Yes.
that what you said? Yeah.
You know what you should have added? It's Hawkeye. It's your favorite.
If Hawkeye had never been the leader of a team, he would have been the leader of my team. But he has led the West Coast Avengers. And I wanted to... Again, I couldn't find anything about James Rhodes that said that he was, like, in charge. Because I feel like, tactical-wise, Hawkeye
It
would
makes
have been
sense that I'm in
fine.
charge. I think Duke's just seen so many failures that he has to be able to lead, right?
I mean, if not, he's got luck on his side now.
Right. You've got luck on your side. You got Mr. Immortal on your side. That's why I was almost worried that it might be overpowered. Dupin himself is overpowered, but I think because he's kind of lazy and a sloth about things, that is your advantage there.
Do you have a right hand for the team?
Who's the right hand? I think it has to be Mr. Immortal, I would assume. Because he has led teams.
Yeah, but he's so angry.
He's led two. He led the New Warriors and he led the New Warriors and he led the
I would think he'd be the guy that you're like, everybody keep an eye on, Mr. Immortal.
I feel like everybody needs to keep their eye on Moon Knight.
I just think because of the anger.
True.
You know what I mean? The real Raphael situation with the Ninja Turtles. Like, yeah, we're all great and equal, but let's keep Raph close because he likes to branch off and rush in.
Feels fair.
But to be fair, he can rush in because he can't die. So, do you just put Mr. Immortal in front
You just
when you're
shove
going
him
down
on.
hallways and stuff?
Just a human shield.
Yeah. Ooh, man, that sucked. Like in video games, does it hurt when you touch that?
It's really,
Get in there.
it's really gonna be a situation where Domino's just constantly using him as her, like, luck.
She's probably gonna be. I don't know if her power can wear off, but But I imagine having to take care of this team, it can't go well.
Yeah, she's like the mama bear.
It's like, just get over here.
That'd be great. But yeah, that's my team. I don't know.
I like it.
Ragtag World. Some of them are known-ish, like Domino and Moon Knight. I feel like are pretty known.
Mm-hmm.
Dupe and Forget Me Not are obscure. Mr. Immortal here and there.
I can get behind that team. Do you want black domino or white domino?
Doesn't really matter to me.
I don't know if you. I mean, like.
I like the girl that played her.
Okay.
I think that was a really good.
Fan like with Ghost Rider. There's two that played him. You had one in mind.
Yeah. No, I think the girl that played her in Deadpool was pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Forget Me Not could be played easily by
Kevin
what's his
James.
name?
Steve Buscemi. What's the Mexican guy that always...
The guy I'm thinking of was Wedding Crashers. Not Owen Wilson.
Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, that one.
I can see that. Luis Guzman.
Luis Guzman? Yeah, solid. Easily Luis Guzman. Like I said, Dupe is just...
Because he's such a guy that just slips your mind. Exactly.
You said his name and I was like, I can't.
The casting's there, I'm telling you.
Goop would, like I said, just be basically Slimer, but be voiced by Dupe. Sorry, Dupe would be Slimer, but
is that his evil brother? Is that the main protagonist of the comic?
Would be voiced by Alan Tudyk because Alan Tudyk voices everything. Mr. Immortal.
Does Dupe talk?
Mm-hmm. He used to speak only an alien language.
That's what I know.
And then, for some reason, people just understand him.
Makes sense.
So maybe it's that he speaks alien, but for whatever reason, everybody understands.
Everybody just knows it now. Well, I kind of feel like it's with Groot.
True.
Quill didn't really understand him, and then now he's like, hey, man, watch your mouth.
True. Moon Knight, I feel like they have someone already played. If this was back when... you know what? I don't know that I've ever seen the face of Moon Knight, now that I think about it.
Just a white guy.
Huh?
Just a white guy.
See, I didn't imagine him being a white guy.
Yeah. Just
because I was thinking...
You can see the arms right there.
Yes. I was thinking if this was filmed at the time that Lost was filmed, I would picture like Saeed playing him.
I can see that. Yep, just an average white guy.
Oh, okay.
Brunette.
Well, that's
Nothing
boring.
special about him.
And Domino covered. Yep, done. That's. Anyways, if you guys think you guys can put together a better Avengers team, let us know. I'm sure you guys can.
Comment below. I'd be curious to see what other random people you... Because, like I said, there are people that I wanted to see interact, but I couldn't.
During
get
my
everything
research, I found out that the Galactus had a daughter. Didn't know that. Her name is Gally, or she goes by Gally, but her name is also Galacta. I can't figure out if she's a good guy or a bad guy. That's why she didn't end up on a team.
There was a character that I found called Arabian Night, and he sounds as stereotypical as you think. Not a proud moment.
Yikes.
There's also a character... I can't remember his name. He is a clone of Hitler.
Is he more pleasant?
Not a good guy.
Yikes.
Hellmonger? Maybe?
I was thinking like Brutus Hitler, and like he's just a really nice guy, makes lemon squares.
He was not.
Okay, good.
He was-
That's rough.
Also, he was a real Hitler. That guy.
It's just- yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, Marvel's got some
Dark corners.
some holes in there.
There should be an Avengers team of just Avenger kids. Like the children of...
They're the young Avengers.
There's
They're not.
There are some kids, and not all of them. There's not a team that's just their kids, but there are a lot of youth teams.
It's not Young Avengers. What is that? Because it's Young Justice League.
Yeah, there's the Young Avengers.
Okay.
And then the Champions, which is a team of like 15
Younger.
to 16-year-olds. This is the Young Avengers, right?
Yeah,
Now you make me question it.
I know. But let us know down below if you guys can come up with a better team. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. That helps us. Tell your friends about us. Cleve, where can they reach us at?
It is the Young Avengers. We have a Facebook. It's Friendship Supreme. We have an Instagram. It's Friendship Supreme. We have a Twitter. It's Friendship Supreme. But you take the eyes out of Twitter because all eyes are on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com. And you have to search Friendship Supreme because we haven't gotten there yet, but we will.
Soon.
We also have a Patreon. If you would like to give me money, it is www.patreon.com/Friendship Supreme.
There's lots of tiers.
Give us $1. That'd be cool. Tell a friend about us. That would be cool. Comment, like, subscribe, leave a review, 5 stars, and just put Avengers Assemble. That would be cool. We're giving thumbs up. You can't if you're listening. It got quiet there, but it's not you guys. It's us and what we're doing. But I fixed it by talking.
Yeah. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve.
This is Stephanie.
Avengers. He just calls the Avengers, and he's like, "Where's Dracula at? I know he works there." And Spider-Man's like, "Dracula doesn't work here." He's like, "Tell me to give him my goddamn money." And he just like hangs up.